My boyfriend banned me from saying a certain word. When I accidentally said it at dinner, he lost it in front of everyone. So I said it again, and again, and again. I've been with Joel for a year and a half. He's charming when he wants to be. He knows how to make people laugh. He opens doors and pulls out chairs. Everyone loves Joel, but there's a version of Joel that only I see. It started small. About 4 months in, we were talking in his car after a movie. I said something was stupid. Not him, the movie. I said that plot twist was so stupid. He went quiet. Then he said, I don't like that word. I said, what, stupid? He flinched. Yes, I'd appreciate it if you didn't use it around me. I thought it was a sensitivity thing. Maybe someone called him that growing up. I didn't ask. I just said okay. I stopped saying it. Then a few weeks later, I slipped. I was on the phone with my friend and I said something like, oh, that's so stupid, and Joel was in the room. After I hung up, he sat me down. I asked you not to say that word. I said, I'm sorry. I forgot. I was talking to my friend. He said it doesn't matter who you're talking to. When you're around me, that word doesn't exist. His voice wasn't loud. It was flat, controlled. That was worse. I started catching myself mid-sentence. I'd swap in other words. Silly, ridiculous, pointless, anything but the one he banned. It became automatic. I didn't even think about it anymore. Then he added another word. About 2 months later, I called something crazy. Not a person, a situation. He gave me the same look. Can you not use that word either? It's dismissive. So now I had 2 words I couldn't say, then a third, then a fourth. By month 10, I had a mental list of 6 words I wasn't allowed to use around Joel. Stupid, crazy, weird, annoying, dramatic, ridiculous, normal words. Words everyone uses every day without thinking. But in Joel's world, they were off limits. And if I used one, even by accident, even in a whisper, even quoting someone else, he'd shut down. He'd go silent for hours. He'd leave the room. Once he drove home at 11 p.m. without saying goodbye because I said my coworker was being ridiculous. I started walking on eggshells. I'd rehearse sentences before I said them. I'd pause mid-conversation to scan for banned words. My friends noticed. My best friend Tina said you talk different now. Like you're filtering every sentence through something. I told her about the word thing. She stared at me. That's not normal. That's control. I said it's not that deep. He's just sensitive. She said sensitive people explain their feelings. They don't punish you for using a word. I didn't listen. Last month we went to dinner with his family, his parents, his older sister, and her husband. Nice restaurant. Everyone was having a good time. Joel's sister was telling a story about a coworker, and I laughed and said, oh my god, that's so stupid. Table went quiet. Not because anyone cared about the word, because Joel put his fork down. He looked at me. The look, the flat eyes, the jaw. His sister kept talking like nothing happened, but under the table Joel grabbed my wrist. Not hard enough to bruise, just enough to say I heard you. I pulled my hand away. His mom asked me if the food was good. I said yes, it's great, but something in me shifted. I felt it right there at that table. I wasn't embarrassed anymore. I was tired. Joel leaned over and whispered, we'll talk about this later. I looked at him. No, we won't. He blinked. Excuse me? I said it louder. That was stupid. His sister stopped talking. His mom looked over. Joel's face went red. I kept going. You know what else? This rule is crazy. The whole list of words you banned is ridiculous. I've been walking on eggshells for a year because you decided normal words are crimes. That's not sensitivity, Joel. That's control. He stood up. You're embarrassing yourself. I stayed sitting. I'm embarrassing you. There's a difference. You've been training me like a dog for over a year. Sit, stay, don't speak. Every time I slip, you punish me with silence, or you leave, or you grab my wrist under a table. His mom looked at his dad. His sister looked at me. Joel said, we're leaving. I said, you're leaving. I'm finishing my dinner. He stood there for 10 seconds. Then he walked out. His sister leaned over. How long has this been going on? Since month 4. She shook her head. He did the same thing to his ex. Different words, but the same thing. She wasn't allowed to say certain names. His mom closed her eyes. His dad stared at his plate. Nobody followed Joel out. I finished my meal. His sister paid for my dinner and gave me her number. She said, if you need anything, call me. I drove home alone. Joel had already texted me 6 times. You humiliated me. You owe me an apology. I'm done pretending this is normal. You need help. I'm not the one who needs help. I blocked his number that night. Then I said out loud to nobody. That's stupid. It felt good.